I've been spending the past few months trying to plan a solo Florida trip. And I think I might have done it. And in this video I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I'm doing it. We've got parks, where I'm staying, transport, the full shebang. And I might have already made a few rogue decisions. If you're planning your first Florida trip with friends, with family, or if you're going solo like me, these are the steps that I follow every single time. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, just to stay involved. So, why am I going solo? Short answer, nobody to get in my way. Nobody to tell me where to go, when to go somewhere. Long answer, I've been doing Disney for nearly 20 years. So it's about time that I do a solo trip. Days, it's a pretty good place to start. You want to know when you go in the year because this can affect how the holiday runs so much, especially in Florida, which I'll come to. But here are all the things I considered beforehand, just so I can explain my thought process behind making these decisions. Crowds. I don't want to be queuing nearly 2 hours just to get on Peter Pan. I'm sorry, it's a good ride, but it ain't worth 2 hours, especially when I'm queuing on my own. Events. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Halloween Horror Nights. You need to decide whether these are the things that you want to be doing on your trip or whether you're not bothered about them, because you could be paying extra money to go at these times when you're not really interested in it. And just general vibes. Do I want Christmas decorations, Halloween decorations? So, give me a drum roll please. I'm going early November. I'm going on bonfire night for 2 weeks. So the crowds have normally died down after Halloween, but more importantly, it is just before Thanksgiving, which I'm not sure if any of you have ever been to Disney on Halloween, but it ain't the one. For the events, I really wanted to do Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party because I haven't done that since I was about 4 years old. But also the Food and Wine Festival's kind of coming to its end, but it is still on during that time, and I really love the Food and Wine Festival. Who doesn't like Disney food? But if there is one thing I am gutted about, it's that I'm not going to be able to go to the Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. We did that in 2024 and it was unbelievable. Loved every minute of it. So I am a bit gutted that I'm missing that. But Christmas, So yeah, early November just gives you that nice middle ground of you just coming into the Christmas decorations, but you've also still got some of the stuff left up from the previous months, like the Food and Wine Festival. And in classic Florida fashion, we've got to talk about the weather. The weather is unpredictable, but you can make a few educated guesses. So November tends to be towards the back end of the storm season, which is when you're not really going to drop on a hurricane, or you're probably still going to get the occasional rain. It is Florida. So I went in September 2023 and got caught in the Storm Milton, which, yeah, not good. Not when Disney closes for 2 days, unimpressed. So towards the back end of the year as well, you've kind of got some rides that are coming out of refurbishment and opening up. I think Thunder Mountain might be one of them. So I just kind of looked at that as well and realised there's a lot of things I want to do. Next up, where am I staying? And honestly, the headaches this caused me. Stress. This caused me this much. First, transport convenience. Are you renting a car? If not, you need to think about how you're going to be getting to the parks every day. Some off-site hotels do offer shuttle bus services, but the timetables are questionable to say the least. Some stop at 6 PM, so if you are wanting to watch the fireworks at Epcot or the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, you're not going to be able to do that, so that's something that you need to factor in. And some others only run 2 or 3 buses in a morning, and sometimes they're just ridiculously early, so if you're not wanting to rope drop and you're just wanting to have a chill morning, that service isn't really available to you. But I suppose if you are wanting to go a bit later in the day, or you are wanting to leave later on at night, you can use rideshare services. Disney's got a partnership with Bolt, I believe. If you're staying on site without a car, life's bliss, to be honest. You've got life pretty much sorted. Disney buses run to all of the Disney parks and Disney Springs. They will normally start about 45 minutes before the park is meant to open and normally end about 60 to 90 minutes after the park closes. You're not waiting any more than 15-20 minutes for a bus. And this is very similar if you're staying on the Universal on-site resorts as well. So if you are staying on site, then you only need to really use rideshare services if you go in from Disney to Universal or Universal to Disney, Or if you want to go and get something to eat off-site, Carrabba's. I highly recommend Carrabba's. And Americans are going to hate me for this, but Olive Garden slaps, man. Staying on site also gives you early access to the park, so that is both for Disney and Universal. This normally means that you can get in 30 minutes before general admission can get in. So that means hitting Flights of Passage or Hagrid's before it gets to nearly a 2-hour wait time, which can save your entire day. Or you can just go and grab a coffee before Joffrey's gets busy. We all need a coffee on a Disney trip. That's a lie, I don't even like coffee. There's also the reverse of this. There's Disney Extra Magic Hours, which is offered to Disney guests, where you can stay behind and ride the rides when people who are not staying in the resorts are not allowed on the rides. You have to scan your magic band to get in. So that means that you can ride some of your favourite rides at a fraction of the wait time. So this is only if you're at a deluxe resort, so you've got Boardwalk, Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Yacht Club. I'll just put a screenshot somewhere here. Got it? So just remember to always check your park schedules, because this isn't every day and it does change from day to day and which park is offering it on that day. Right, let's address the elephant in the room. No, not that elephant. Price. This is most people's big thing that it all comes down to, because Florida holidays are expensive. Very expensive. So one thing I will say, every Disney hotel will be nice. Don't just be attracted to the glitz and the glam. And remember, don't compare your trip to other people's you might see on YouTube or on your social media, because this is your holiday. It's about finding a middle ground between price, perks, and comfort. So if we're getting onto the tier systems and the pricing of each hotel, Disney splits theirs into value resorts, deluxe resorts, and moderate resorts. So the budget resorts include all-star movies, music, and sport, as well as Pop Century and Art of Animation. The moderate resorts are Caribbean Beach, Port Orleans, and Coronado Springs. And then you've got the big boys. The real big boys, the deluxe resorts. So in the deluxe resorts, you've got Beach Club, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Wilderness Lodge, Boardwalk, Contemporary, Grand Floridian, Polynesian, Yacht Club. And then you've also got the Swan, I believe the Dolphin as well, which are in that. They are just so nice. But they will set you back a pretty penny. So as I said before, if you see someone go into these hotels, do not think that you need to go to these hotels, because they are for the people with a lot more money. You've also got a lot of off-site hotels with a variety of prices, so check online, check with your travel agents and see if any suit you. I recently stayed at the Rose and Shingle Creek on Universal Boulevard, and that was brilliant. I couldn't ask for anything more, and if you've got a car, it's perfect. And then something else that you need to factor in, especially if you're like me who's going on a solo trip, how safe am I? 9 times out of 10, staying off-site, you are going to be safe. Like I say, I've been going to Florida for 20 years, and I have felt safe everywhere I've stayed, off-site, on-site, you will be fine. It's called the Disney bubble for a reason. But if you are staying on-site, that minimises that need for you to leave, to go to restaurants, and you can just remain within the Disney grounds. And it's the same for Universal as well. So, here it is. I have chosen to stay on-site at All-Star Movies Resort. And yes, I did look at all the overpriced hotels first. I eventually narrowed it down to the All-Star Resorts, Art of Animation, and Pop Century. I'm a value guy. All-Star Movies won because the transport is good. It is normally the first stop in the All-Star Resort circuit, which means that you will get on the buses when they're less crowded. And it's also less likely to host school trips, cheer meets, all things like that, which is very important to an adult who needs sleep. I need my sleep. If I had a little bit more budget, Pop Century probably would have been my choice, because it has that Skyliner access. If that's something that you want, it can take you straight to the park, which is nice, and you haven't got to mess about with buses. But it wasn't quite worth the money for the Skyliner. Sorry, Skyliner. Now the fun part, strategy. So which days will I be trying to do each park? Obviously you cannot stick to this, because there will be some days where you need to go somewhere else. But Epcot, I normally try and stick to any day other than Friday and Saturday. Drinking around the world just makes Epcot unbearable. Don't do it. Don't do it. However, I will be drinking around the world on a Wednesday. Tune in for that one. And Epcot is always my first day. Always. I just love sitting around Showcase Lagoon and just watching the world go by. It just fills me with incredible happiness. Magic Kingdom can be a weird one. This is going to sound weird, but I like to try and aim for the days where there's a party on at night. The park does close earlier, so bear that in mind if you are going to follow this. But normally when there's a party on at night, the crowds in the day die down a little bit. So if you're not bothered about watching the nighttime fireworks or anything, I highly recommend this. But if you are wanting to stay late at night, I'd probably go for a Tuesday or a Wednesday, because it's normally busy on the weekends, and Monday because that's when people start their trip, and obviously everyone's going to go to the castle one. Who wouldn't? It's a castle, apart from me. I like the big giant golf ball. Personally. Animal Kingdom, locals don't really prioritise it, so you can kind of go any time, but weekdays are quieter, so normally what I like to do is go straight to Flight of Passage, get that out of the way, and then the park is practically dead by noon, and you can do whatever you want and chill. I will not accept the slander that Animal Kingdom is a half-day park. It is not a half-day park. Hollywood Studios is the same as Epcot and Magic Kingdom really. Most weekdays you'll be fine. I would avoid Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday because people like to get that done first, especially on the Monday when they first get there because they want to see the Star Wars. And the weekends it just tends to be really busy because it's probably the second most popular park now. Now Universal, I will probably try to do that on a weekend because as much as it might be busier on a weekend, Universal busy is not quite Disney busy. Makes it the more bearable out of the two. However, if you can get there on a weekday, it's obviously better. I like to do it on the weekends as well because you get the nightlife of the city walk at night, especially if you go on a Friday or Saturday, which if that's what you're into, it can be quite nice. And Epic. You didn't think I'd forgot about Epic, did you? That's one of the main reasons I'm going next year. There's a new park. When was the last time we had a new park? So I'll be trying to do Epic in the weekdays because the weekends are just going to be rammed. So I'll probably try and get to that on a Wednesday or a Thursday. But let's be honest, it's going to be busy whichever day I go. I want time and space. I want to take it all in. I want to appreciate it. So my strategy on the days of the park. You might think that I'm rope dropping every single day. I ain't. I ain't your normal Disney Universal YouTuber who rope drops. No, I like to do things different. The single rider way. So whilst everybody on a morning is absolutely pacing to get to them buses for 7:45, I'm just going to be rocking out of bed, going to the quick service, get myself some Mickey waffles, bit of breakfast, fill up my cup, and then I'm going to be on that bus around about 9:30, and then I can just get into the parks and chill. So I'll get to the park around 9-10 o'clock. Daytime is for the atmosphere, the food, the shows. I'm not too bothered about the attractions in the day because this is when they're just at peak busyness. But then I'll probably head back to the hotel maybe around 3-4 o'clock, get ready for the night, get a shower, get some food as well probably, and then I am hitting them rides at night. I am hitting every single ride I want to at night. Probably start around about 6 o'clock. Children are probably tired by this point. Parents are tired of the kids at this point. And people are maybe going to the restaurants that they've booked or watching a show at night. If you're not bothered about doing all those little things, you can really exploit the rides. I got on Rise of the Resistance in about 20 minutes at about 8:30. In Hollywood Studios. If you're not bothered about watching the shows or going out for a meal, past 6 o'clock is the time to do the rides. So as a solo traveller this time, my priority is simple. Taking it all in and just enjoying it. In groups, it's very easy to be dictated by everybody else. Oh, I want to go and watch Beauty and the Beast at 2:30. I'm hungry. I have a lightning lane at 3 o'clock. None of that. I can do what I want. I can ride what I want. I can eat what I want. I can eat when I want. I can do what I want. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Obviously, going with friends and family is brilliant. You get to experience this such amazing place with everybody that you love. But people just want to do their own thing, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody is there with their own goals of what they want to do. But when you're in a big group, it's just so hard to keep everybody happy. That's why I thought a solo trip would work nice. And because I'm on my own, where I've forgotten. Oh yeah. Single rider lines. Single rider. That's me. I've never used them properly because I've always been with friends and family and we always want to get sat next to each other, but they're not here this time. So that's something I'm actually really excited to do, which is something I never thought I would ever say in my life. I'm excited to use the single rider lines. So while people are waiting 130 minutes for Rise the Resistance or Hagrid's, I won't be. I'll be flying through. Can you just pretend I'm checking my notes here? So, budget, park plan, resort, dates. Yeah, I think that's everything I'm considering for my solo trip. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to do a deeper dive on, as I know I've kind of rushed through all the kind of little things you need. So if there is anything you want me to go into more detail on, I can try and give you a hand, just pop it in the comments. But for now, thanks for checking in. I've been Single Rider. Until next time.